So once I multiply this side by sine, I can just multiply. Class, what does that become? Sine squared theta. Now here, don't distribute. You'll just have sine of theta times 1 plus cosine. And on this side, you're going to have to distribute. Class, what do I get?
Cosine theta plus
Cosine times cosine?
cosine squared divided by the distributor.
Yeah, we're not going to distribute the denominator. You could, but it's not needed. Now the second line of expressions doesn't have an equation. I'm showing that these two expressions are equivalent. Class, do we have a common denominator?
Yes.
Okay. Now I can just put it under one big fraction. In the denominator I have sine of theta times 1 plus cosine theta. Now pay attention, this is a plus sign, right? So I don't have to distribute. If it was a minus sign, then you would have to distribute and change the signs on the right side. So I have sine squared theta plus cosine theta plus cosine squared theta. Alright, look at the numerator. Put your finger on two of the expressions that we can use an identity for. Where did you put it on? Sine squared theta and cosine squared theta. Now all I did on this step here is I put these two next to each other. By addition, I can change their order. Commutative property of addition. And then here in orange, which identity am I using? We're using the Pythagorean identity. Sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. Now, the numerator says 1 plus cosine theta. I have another 1 plus cosine theta in the denominator. If I just put a parenthesis around it, it's pretty much the same, isn't it? So I basically have one expression over itself. Those will cancel. Class, am I left with sine theta? What am I left with? Yeah, pay attention. A common mistake is if there's nothing left in the numerator, students think it goes away. But essentially, when you're canceling, it's like 3 divided by 3. The answer is 1, not 0. So this is 1 over sine of theta. Now usually when they say simplify, we don't want any fractions. So 1 over sine of theta is equal to cosecant of theta by the reciprocal identity. So my answer for this problem is cosecant of theta. Now let's go back to this problem. This problem does not say specifically use sine and cosine to simplify. If it does say use sine and cosine to simplify, that kind of generally means that your answer should be in sine and cosine. And that would probably be the better answer. But this problem just says simplify, and fractions don't look as nice, so we can just use the reciprocal identity to finish.